John McAfee, you're perhaps best known for creating the world's first antivirus software. Since then, you've been involved in many tech ventures. You're a big advocate of cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Recently appointed CEO of LuxCore, a blockchain solutions and services ecosystem. So my first question, is this your first time in Malta, your first impressions of the country?
My very first time, and I'm glad I came. It's a marvelous country. The people are warm and welcoming, and this is probably the largest and most energetic conference in the crypto world that I've attended. So I think Malta should be proud to be the host of such a conference.
You're a very big advocate of cryptocurrencies. Why is it so important that we all adopt cryptocurrency as soon as possible?
Because I'm also a big advocate of freedom, personal freedom, individual freedom. And cryptocurrency, for the first time in human history, gives people their own control over their own finances. Without permission from a government, without an agency controlling the supply of money or the increase or decrease in inflation, nothing. It is a permissionless system, peer-to-peer, that no one need be involved in except the two people in the transaction. That's freedom, financial freedom. And from financial freedom comes all other freedoms.
You've also said that's like antivirus software is dead and that it's now there's a paradigm shift to actually stopping hackers. Yes. How big a role does blockchain play in this paradigm shift?
It's a huge role. One of the biggest problems, or the largest problem, is how do you identify a hacker? If the company and all of its employees are somehow integrated into the blockchain, then a hacker coming in, the software can go, wait a minute, I don't see you anywhere in the history of this company. How come you're coming in today? And so I say, no, you're blocked. You can't come in. Do you see that power? Because the blockchain is immutable. It cannot be changed. So no hacker can go in and change it. They can't go, I'm going to change this history so that I'm a valid employee. No, it cannot happen. So it's going to imbue every aspect of cybersecurity.
Malta recently passed 3 laws regulating distributed ledger technologies. How important is having regulation to the development of the technology?
That's a tricky question. Right now, perhaps, we need regulation. But in the end, when distributed exchanges come, regulation will be insignificant because whatever is regulated or not cannot be enforced. Right now, the only enforcement of cryptocurrency comes from regulating the exchanges, which we have to have because if I have a Bitcoin and I want to buy something with dollars, I have to exchange it. Those are localized and centralized. Right now, there is a new technology called decentralized exchanges, where the exchange does not exist in a server or an office or a location. At that point, governments have lost all control. Now, knowing human nature, whatever regulations have been applied become meaningless, and we will go off on our way.
You've taken positions very much sort of against the government and the established powers. Does it bother you that the Maltese government is the biggest advocate of blockchain in Malta? That it's
I'm sorry for the oxymoron. I'm sorry for the conflict in thought. However, this is just the truth. Thank you, Malta, for recognizing the power and inevitability of cryptocurrency and the blockchain. You're very forward thinking, but you must prepare for the time when all of your laws, regulations, and goodwill will simply be ignored. It's like passing legislation against the smoking of marijuana. Almost every country and every state in America has, yet find someone who doesn't smoke marijuana. It is a regulation that can no longer be enforced. And when you can no longer enforce your regulations created by goodwill, they will have to be abandoned. And the sad thing is that the governments that have regulated and with their own goodwill will have to find a new way to raise taxes because you will never know how much money a person makes, what they spend, what a company is made. No. And there will be no fiat because cryptocurrency is faster, more secure, more efficient. Banks will disappear. Be prepared. Just be prepared. And become part of it.